Welcome to #Wednesdays Weekly, a weekly information session in collaboration with voluntary sector and public sector partners. Thank you for joining us for this week's session on Rochdale AFC Community Trust. The host is Ryan Bradley. Over to you, Ryan.
Okay, good morning all. As mentioned there, my name is Ryan Bradley. I'm the Community Trust Director at Rochdale AFC Community Trust. I'm sort of relatively new to the role, started in January. So what I thought I'd do is just give you a little bit of introduction about myself and my background really. I joined in January from Burnley FC in the community, sort of rivals down the road football wise. I spent 5 years at Burnley FC in the community, a really large football community trust doing lots of good work, 70 full-time staff, 3 million turnover, real big powerful organisation within the third sector within the town of Burnley. And I spent 5 years there in a business development role, which was mainly aimed at making projects sustainable, fundraising, sponsorship, that type of thing. But prior to my role at Burnley, I worked in Rochdale. I started in Rochdale probably 15 years ago, working for Link for Life. I was the community rugby league manager in the neighbourhood and communities team at Link for Life, based in the Black Box on Smith Street, as it were then. And my role was to look after rugby league development within the borough, and not just Rochdale, it covered Bolton and Bury as well. But it was looking after volunteers in the amateur clubs within the town, so Mayfield, Littleborough, Cobras as we had at the time, Whitworth Spartans. To also work with the professional club, Rochdale Hornets, on their development and community engagement strategy, and sort of just coordinate and develop rugby league in schools and in clubs and in any which way we could really. So I did sort of 4 years in that role on a fixed term contract. And when that came to an end, we had literally just been awarded a Rugby League World Cup fixture, Fiji versus Ireland for Spotland Stadium, a bid that I worked on alongside Mark, who's sort of on the call as well. And that was sort of one where, you know, we sort of had to do a lot of influencing on that to sort of get that game, but we're lucky to bring a World Cup fixture to Rochdale. So there was still a need for me, I think, in the borough at that time, and I was lucky enough to be offered a role at Rochdale Hornets, supporting them through the World Cup stuff initially, and then I was appointed as CEO, and I spent 4 years at Rochdale Hornets as CEO. I had a really good time, 2 promotions, 1 relegation, and made a lot of good friends and had a lot of good time there. But the role came up at Burnley, and Burnley being my hometown club, it was one that I couldn't turn down. So yes, that's pretty much me really. I do know my way around Rochdale a little bit, or I know my way around Rochdale as it was back then. And I know some people within the borough, and there's still some people around. I know my way around the third sector, and in particular football charities. So I'm here now to sort of look after Rochdale AFC Community Trust and take it into its next step. In terms of Rochdale Football Club, in the Rochdale AFC Community Trust, or football in the community, or whatever iteration that you've known them as, they have been going for a long time. So I think many people know Keith Hicks within the borough. So Keith was a former player at Rochdale Football Club who had a career-ending injury, retired, and he retired just at the time when the PFA was looking to start football in the community. So what they did was to give Keith a bag of balls and a bit of a wage, and said, go out and coach football in schools, see if you can find a player, see if you can get a few more fans on the games, and sort of go out there and use football to do good in the community. And that was 32 years ago, and Keith carried on doing that for a number of years. He moved forward, he moved into other areas. So he'd use football for community cohesion, he'd use football to engage females and underrepresented groups and all sorts of different things, and built up a charity over time. The biggest change at the football in the community, if you will, probably came around about 2007. So the football landscape changed in 2007, and the focus of the community side of the club had to change as well. So up until then, it was very much, so when Keith started to 2007, it was very much about trying to sell tickets, engage fans, trying to get kids playing football, trying to find a talented player to go into the academy at the football club. And football, like I said, the football landscaping changed, funding changed, academies got money directly, so that talent ID sort of element went. Schools were getting better at doing their own PE and things like that, so that was sort of, whittling down, and social media was taking off in a big way. So there was better ways to go out there and try and engage new fans. So in 2007, that's when the community department, the football in the community, if you will, became a registered charity in its own right. Separated on paper its operations from the football club, so it had its own board of trustees, its own bank account, started renting premises at the ground, setting its own strategy and being in charge of its own destiny, really. And that was probably the time when the focus of the trust changed from just being a football club that delivers in the community to looking at wider issues in the town and sort of how they address that. So fast forward 32 years from when we first started, Keith's now retired. He retired at the end of February, and he's left the trust in a really good position, really, with these 10 full-time staff employed to go out and working in the community. We've got 6 months reserves squirreled away, so we're in a nice position, from a finance point of view. Accounts are healthy. We're doing bits of work in loads of different areas. And it's my job really to kick that on, to the next level, to grow this charity and have an even bigger impact within the town of Rochdale. A couple of things since I've started and I came in. We have done a rebrand, so I've mentioned a few different names already for the charity, but we are Rochdale AFC Community Trust. We have developed this strategy. Our town, our community. It's a strategy document, which I'm going to talk you through in a second. It's an outline for 2021 of the programmes that we want to deliver and where we want to go. It's about, obviously with COVID hitting, it's about building back what we've done previously and making them things stronger and getting them back to where they were pre-COVID. But it's also about looking at growth and sort of taking things onto the next stage. This Our Town, Our Community strategy was originally written for 2020 by Keith and his team. So even before I came along, all I've done is top and tailed it and made it look a little bit better, if you will. But what we want to do is use this document as a basis for consultation. So this is, I think, presentation one to third sector partners to say, this is us, this is Rochdale AFC and Community Trust, this is what we deliver now, this is our ethos, our vision, our mission, our values, the way we go about things. How can we partner with other organisations? How can we move this forward to the next level, really? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run you through the strategy sort of page by page and sort of tell you where we're at. Okay, so the first thing that we go through is vision, mission, values. And our vision is to make Rochdale one of the best places in the world to live, work and play, places where all voices are heard. And it's quite important for us in there that there's not a mention of the word football in there. Although we are intrinsically linked to the football club and using the power of football is the way we do things, our vision is not to have more people through the turnstiles at Rochdale Football Club. Our vision is not to generate the next best player for Rochdale. Our vision is genuinely about making this town a better place to live, work and play. And that's our vision. That's what we want to do. Like I said, with our mission, yes, we will use football to do that. Football has a really good, real good niche of being able to earn trust quickly, engage hard to reach groups and get them bought into what we do. And that's what we want to do. We want to use that unique power of the badge. And yes, Rochdale is not as powerful as City, United, Liverpool or Burnley, but it still is football and it's still a trusted brand and a trusted industry and something that we can use to engage hard to reach people. So that's what we'll do. We'll use the power of football to engage people. And then our last one is around values. And this is probably what, we just put forward really just to show people how we sort of engage with people and what our core values are with engaging with different organisations. Moving on from values, we then looked at our sort of charter really. We sort of appreciate that if we're going to go out and speak to third sector people or speak to partners and we want to get people involved, I wanted to be upfront and honest with how we're going to do that and what our sort of ethos is in building partnerships with the community trust. So, there's things there like, we seek new opportunities. So we're never going to be the one who just delivers football and carries on doing that. We do want to seek new opportunities. We want to be data driven and embrace technology. So modern, we don't just want to be the ones that sort of sit there and do nothing. But another one I'll pick out is we know our limits. Yes, we want to work in, the mental health space or or social inclusion space, but we know our limits, so we know what we're good at, we know what we're capable of, but we know where we need to get involved with other people as well. So that's what we wanted to do with our tactics. We wanted to show people how we will go about doing things. Similar with our approach, we wanted to tell people how we will approach this, how we will achieve our vision and mission in a sort of general sense. So not just we will go out there and deliver some football coaching, but how we will do it. And there's a lot in there around co-design and co-develop and around working collaboratively and working in partnerships. I don't think we have the answer to everything. There's no way we're going to be a one-stop shop for the town's problems. We don't see ourselves as that, and that's never going to happen. But what we can do is work with others either to add value to their offer or people to add value to our offer and play a part in that whole holistic approach around making Rochdale a better place to live, work and play. And the one on there as well that I sort of particularly like is that we're agile and responsive to the needs of our community. So if there is an issue that comes up, we can flex our approach and we can do it. We want to be a doing organisation, and we've proved that through COVID, where we've picked up things like establishing a food pantry, delivering scrubs to nurses, childcare for key worker children. Things like that, we've got to be able to. I think COVID's shown a lot of people that you've got to be able to be agile, think outside the box, and do things slightly different. So we split ourselves into 4 key areas. The first of which is governance, and this is the one that sort of lies with me really. And this is kicking on from what Keith's done previously. So as a charity, yes, we report to the Charities Commission. We're regulated by the EFL Trust. We have a board of trustees who hold us to account. But for me, building a foundation as a charity, a strong foundation to build from is pretty important. And our key priorities in terms of our governance are all listed there. The ones that we sort of make sure we are looking at on a daily, weekly basis to make sure that we are best in class across these areas, so people have confidence to work with us, to invest in us, and sort of be our partner going forward. I said strategy. This is presentation 1, as I've mentioned, about taking our strategy to out there to people, so it's not just huddled away as a document that nobody sees. That people could have the chance to we consult with people and have the chance to input. Our marketing, really important. We do a lot of good work as a charity, and over the years we've done a lot of good work, but we don't tell a lot of people. So being able to grow our Facebook, our Twitter. We launched a new website this week, which is out there now, to be able to tell people what we do. Partnerships, impact, being able to report on our impact, all the general stuff really, but we've made a point of putting it in our strategy to say, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to want to be best in class in these areas. In terms of what we actually deliver, we've split ourselves over this next year into 3 key areas. And the first one is probably the one that you know us for, is the community sport offer. So we are associated to the football club. That will never go away, and it's something we're extremely proud of, and it will always be our strength. So through our community sport strand, we want to provide opportunities for people to participate in sport and sort of raise aspirations and give them a pathway. So we do that through a load of different programs. So Premier League Primary Stars, that's funded by the Premier League. It's a program that allows us to offer free coaching in the schools in Rochdale. We're currently in 75% of primary schools, going in there delivering football, but also delivering general PE activities, maths, English, PSHE as subjects as well, using football to deliver subjects. So offering a different way of delivering those sort of core subjects. It's all curriculum linked, and it's a real big program for us, funded by the Premier League. We have our general Desmond's Dragons and soccer schools, which is sort of a commercial football offer, if you will. It's a way of us as a charity raising unrestricted income, providing a quality service to kids who want football coaching at a good standard, or parents who want a childcare alternative in summer in the school holidays, but also providing us that unrestricted income. the kick pitch at the Crown Royal Arena. We have a five-a-side pitch here at Spotland. We hire that out to external groups. We have a free rate for those who need it and can't have funding. We have a commercial rate for those who just want to get mates together and play five-a-side. And then we have rates in between. So it's a real sort of good place for people to come and play sport. Match day experience, mascots, playing on the pitch at half-time. We coordinate all that for the club and make sure that people have a good experience when they come to the Crown Royal Arena on match days. And Rochdale AFC ladies. So we've got ladies teams, every age group from under 10s through to open age, 100 registered players, loads of volunteers, giving females an opportunity to play football. And we as a charity, as Rochdale AFC Community Trust, coordinate that whole offer on behalf of the club. So community sport we're really strong in. The next two areas are the ones where we've done bits and we've done bits of project work, but they're probably our biggest areas for growth, really. Somewhere where we really want to spend a bit of time and focus over the next 12 months, 6 months really, engaging with partners who currently work in these areas, finding out where the gaps are and finding out what we can do together. So our first one is education and employability. So the sports college offer that we deliver a sports college. We have for 8 years delivered a BTEC programme at the stadium in the study centre there, combining football and education on a full-time basis. It sits nicely sort of alongside the Hotwood Hall offer, if you will, and alongside the Rochdale Sixth Form offer, in that this is a small programme. We're aiming to get it up to 1 male and 1 female team each year, so probably 15 of each. So we run one team. It's in the study centre at the stadium, and it's quite a small programme and niche. It engages those kids really that would finish school and not go to college. They wouldn't want to go into that hustle and bustle of a big college like Hotwood Hall College to play on their football academy, or they wouldn't want to go to Rochdale Sixth Form to study A levels. But they still have that capability to do that. So our sports college offer is quite a niche, small, tailored sort of program that fits that, that fits that need really. And we want to sort of replicate that with our employability program and our trainee and apprenticeships program as well. So there's loads of people out there delivering employability at the moment, CV writing and interview technique and working with either 16 to 24-year-olds who are out of work or this, that and the other. Our job is to sort of say, right, we've got them offers already within the borough, but where's there a need? How can we deliver something a bit different? Could we maybe deliver it at the stadium and couple it up with football to engage more people? Or could we, is there something else that we need? Is there a different way of delivering it which would engage more people? And similar with apprenticeships, is there exciting roles in the club that we can open up to apprenticeships and traineeships? So it's just about having that alternative approach to education and employability that would engage people really. And we've done some stuff with the sports college, some really good stuff and really successful model. And it's just about how we work that through employability, traineeships and apprenticeships, and then exploring other areas as well that we can grow that into. And then our other area is health and inclusion. So it's no secret within Rochdale that we've got great big health inequalities. We seem to come top of the table in sort of every deprivation table that's going really. And there's lots and lots of great work going on in third sector with health organisations in being able to tackle them inequalities really, bring communities together and improve health and well-being. And we feel we can play a part in that. There's football clubs up and down the country who are sort of leading the charge within their areas, and we want to be a part of the Rochdale solution. So health and inclusion are probably two separate areas, but we're tackling them as one in 2021. So you've got things like Premier League Kicks, which are inclusion programs funded by the Premier League. It's about going out there. It's a youth-based offer, engaging people who are bored on a Friday night, might be causing a bit of trouble, have nothing to do. And we can turn up as a football club, engage them in positive activity and sort of lead them onto other programs. To working with groups, so specific groups, so military veterans, ability counts, which is our disability team. They're sort of specific underrepresented groups, if you will, that need a bit of support and a bit of leg up. And again, through using football and not just having football teams. So it's not just a military veterans team or a disability team, but it's about a wider program with them. So can we offer as well as offering a football offer, can we offer a community-based offer for them participants as well? And then the other side of that is the pure health programs. It's about mental health awareness. It's about fitness. It's about healthy eating really. And how do we educate people, engage people and educate them on how to live healthier, fuller lives. And again, football's done a great job of giving a lot of hard to reach groups a bit of a leg up. And that's where we want to be as well. And that's pretty much us in terms of strategy. There is a bit on there around COVID recovery. Hopefully, we're not in a position where we need to concentrate on that too much, because I think we are coming out of the, we are seeing the other end of it. We are coming out of the pandemic, but all of our staff have been offered the vaccine as a frontline workers. We are registered with the government to be able to help with lateral flow testing, in schools or in colleges if we're called upon. We've all been trained by on the programme that the Army puts together. So we've got staff ready and willing to go out there and help with lateral flow testing if needed. Throughout COVID, we've done loads of good stuff in, like I said, establishing a food pantry. We've got an online employability programme for those who've been laid off through the pandemic. We've kept things like primary stars and kicks and disability sessions going online where we can. So yes, we've done lots in COVID, but for us, that's sort of, we're sort of leaving COVID behind now and concentrating on our key areas of community sport, education, employability, health and inclusion. In terms of the charity, we currently have, 15,000 people who we engage with every year. I want to grow that. We want to engage more people and have a greater impact on people's lives. We're in 75% of primary schools, which is great. We need to carry that on, but we want to do more. And yeah, we just sort of putting it out there now to questions really. As a community trust, we're in a good place. We're not coming knocking for, for money or funding. What we want to know from the third sector is where are the gaps, what do you struggle with, and how can we work together to make Rochdale a better place to live, work and play. So I'll take a drink while you have a think, and then I'm open to questions.